Oh my goodness. Voice like velvet, and let me tell you, like glitter, you can put her on top of anything. The legend, the icon, the great gospel singer herself, Beverly Crawford, in the room with us. Look at the virtual room with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm telling you, I'm excited. Thank you for having me. And I'm like you, I was getting hungry. I was like, I need to get on a plane and come in so I can be a part of that barbecue.
Exactly. Why they have to do that to us at 12 o'clock?
Right.
If they knew what they were doing.
See?
No, but Miss Crawford, I am so thankful for your time and your years of artistry. As a PK, I was bragging to my mama, Bishop Paula Clark, that I was doing this interview today as I was jamming to one of our songs, one of our faves of yours, I'll say, which is your rendition of Sweeping Through the Cities.
Oh, yeah, I was having church. Okay.
Yes, you know it. You know it.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about your beautiful journey in gospel music that takes us to where we are today with still amazing hits.
Yeah, I think it all begins uh, being home, raised in Gainesville, Florida. My father being a pastor for over 50 years and singing in the church, him doing tent revivals and family, my sisters and my brothers. We formed a group called the Camp Sisters. So being a PK, I think that's where it started. And from there, I remember as a little girl, my mother used to. We lived out in the country. A lot of people probably don't know about hanging clothes on a clothesline. And as she would be out there hanging the clothes up, she said I would be out there singing. And I remember it so well. And I asked her one day, how old was I when I started singing like that? And she said, you were 3 years old, singing out there. And I remember growing up as a little girl saying, I would imagine that the grass was my audience and the stick, I would pick up a stick and imagine that stick was my microphone, not knowing that one day that grass will become all the people that I would be singing in front of. And I remember doing my first solo at the age of 5 years old. He set me up on we call it the Fifth Sunday meeting. Some people call it the Fifth Sunday Union that we used to have with different churches, coming together. And that Sunday, I remember them standing me up on the table because I was so little at 5 years old and singing the song from the BCM Mass Choir out of Nashville, Tennessee. I think it was Nashville Records. And I sung this song, I Made a Vow to the Lord. That was my first solo. And from there, just continued singing in my father's church. And we would travel and singing with the family and doing praise. Well, they didn't call it praise and worship then. We did devotional service. So you probably remember that growing up in church. And so we would devotional service, singing at everybody's funerals, singing at the all the programs, and they put you last when everybody's probably about going out of the audience. But I remember just singing like it was the place was packed, and through that, just singing all over the place. Growing up, people invited me to sing, and my family singing and traveling in the local areas. And one day, as we were doing rehearsal. My husband, who I've been married to, Todd Crawford, for almost 42 years now, 43 this November, and he said, y'all been singing around these little local areas so many years. You all need to get out there. It was like, child, please, nobody don't want to hear us, but local and singing in the church. And I remember he asked my sister at that time, they were VHS tapes. He said, we did a concert, and I'm telling you, it was the recording was really bad. It was dark, you could barely see us. But he took that tape, and he had my sister, they invested $30, I would never forget, and made different copies of that VHS tape and sent it out to different record companies and to Bobby Jones Gospel. And the only person responded was Bobby Jones, probably a year later.
Wow.
He running rehearsal again, and letting us know that we got a letter from Dr. Bobby Jones and asked us would we come to Nashville, Tennessee, and be on his cable show that he was doing. And we went there, we did the show. And after that, he said, well, I'm getting ready to do a gospel explosion, and asked would we come back, the Camps family come back and sing again. And we went back and sung on that show in Nashville. And I guess we can say the rest was history, because from that, he called and said if it was okay with my family, my husband and my father, if I would join his group. He needed a lead singer for the New Life Singers. And everybody said, yes, wherever you go, we're going to be going too. So I started singing with Bobby Jones Gospel. And as you know, on BET, traveling with him and being a part of the New Life Singers for over 6 years. And through that, it afforded me to sign a record deal with Warner Brothers. And I did 2 albums with Warner Brothers. You probably know one of the songs, Jesus Precious King, Praise
Yes.
Jehovah,
Yes.
Just as Soon. And one of my albums was nominated for a Grammy, and so many stellar awards. And God just started opening doors for me and made a way for me through that. Then I signed with uh, uh, Dexterity Sounds, EMI, with Bishop T.D. Jakes, who's my pastor, was for so many years. We lived in Dallas. And from there, I did, well, my God, so many other hits that happened. And that was truly a blessing. And then I ended up signing with JDI Records, where now the songs I can't get away from uh, Miracle, and He's Done Enough, and
Yes.
the list just goes on and on. So many great songs. And so I now have about 8 albums under my belt. That the Lord has blessed me to travel the country, and Dr. Jones took me in so many places all over the world, and a little girl from Gainesville, Florida, that God blessed to be able to travel the world and to spread his gospel. And from that seed from my father and my mother, being in church, and hey, continue to do praise and worship now, and
Yes.
and be there and helping in the church. God opens those doors. Being faithful to my church. And that's why I tell people all the time, being faithful where God has placed you. God will open those doors. My mother used to always tell me, your gift will make room for you. You don't have to knock anybody down. Just be humble and be respectful, and let God use your gift, and don't think that you're better than anybody else. And it opened doors for me to now just released a single, as they played a little bit of it, Lord, You're Good. And now I'm still doing what I do.
Yes.
Since then, my father's gone on to be with the Lord, and now me and my husband are pastoring my father's church here in Gainesville, Florida, called Landmark Holy Temple of God. And man, and I'm still doing what I do.
Yes. What a testimony. What just such a journey, a beautiful and inspiring journey. And it leads me to my next question. And you talked a little bit about it, but why, what keeps you going and motivated in the gospel world? We know that this anointed gift you had could have been in any other genre, right? And we know a lot of the other genres, those artists will say, well, I started in the church, I'm
That's
you
right.
know
That's right.
And not to knock them, but I think this Black Music Month, I really want to uplift that you stayed true to the genre that you've always known and loved.
Yes.
And explain a little bit about that, unpack that for us, why you made that decision.
The funny thing, I come from a Pentecostal church, and my parents is real strict. I know you probably experienced it too. And but even though my dad bought us the little radios where you had the little earphones, and I don't think they really knew what we were listening to. But I was listening to a little bit of R&B and a little bit of jazz, and I never forget. One song that I did was by Candy Staten, and the Lord blessed me, afforded me to be able to meet her years ago, and to this day we're still good friends. But during that time, she sung a song, Honest I Do, You Know I Do, I Love You. So I snuck away and got my brothers who were musicians at the church, and the school was having a talent show. And I chose that song, and we snuck, believe it or not, we practiced that song in the church. If they would have known, they would have got us.
Ooh, you would have been in trouble.
We did that. I did the talent show, and the amazing thing was, it was a Warner Brothers scout there. I didn't know it at the time, and we did. We went. My brother played the drums. My other brother played the lead guitar, and then one of our best friends who still plays for my father's church to this day, Melvin. He played the bass. So I had the bass, the lead, and the drums. And we went and did the talent show at the school and won the talent show. The producer didn't know. He gave me his card. He said, I'm from Warner Brothers, and your voice is incredible. I don't know whether you want to sing R&B, but your voice would be great for it. But you know what? Even that opportunity, I knew I couldn't go to my mom and dad and tell them I got an opportunity to go audition for Warner Brothers, but I knew I wasn't going to tell nobody. We didn't tell them what happened. I won that talent show, but not knowing years later, I've always been true to gospel. I love, like you said, I love music. It's a part of me, but what have drawn me is to the gospel.
Yeah.
I know the gospel changes lives. It changes hearts, and it brings peace. Music generally even blesses people, but that's what I love to do. I love gospel music. I love it because it reaches the soul. It brings healing. It brings deliverance. And even though I've had the opportunity to do other songs, and other people have approached me about doing R&B, oh man, you would be good at singing this. I've chose to do gospel, and it's a part of me. I love it, and it blesses other people. Even to this day, I hear so many other R&B singers. They say, "Listen, we've added some of your songs to our concerts. At the end of our concert, we say Aretha Franklin did it. She added a miracle at the end of her concerts and closed it out." So gospel is it brings healing, it brings deliverance, it brings us together. I'm just honored that I can still do this music after 30 years, and it's still blessing people. Lives are changed, and the funny thing was, who would have ever thought in a million years that that seed that I never thought that I would get a chance to do, that I was able to sign with Warner Brothers and do gospel, Jesus Precious King, Praise Jehovah, and that was under Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers Records. And man, it's just been an incredible journey.
Wow.
And now I can share it with others and still have a opportunity to just do what I love to do, and that's to sing gospel, and that's to lift up the name of Jesus. The blessing was just this past weekend. I had the opportunity to sing with they call it the women of the 80s. The
Yes.
ladies of the 80s in
Oh,
Atlanta.
that was a fun lineup too. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my God. It was such a blessing. And I opened it up for the girls, Regina Bell, and for Denise Williams, and Shanice, and Evelyn Champagne King. It was so awesome. And they said, "You're our girl. We've been watching you for years." And I'm telling you, that made me tears, because they admire what I do, and I admire what they do. And it was like, Beverly, and to sing with them and to be a part. And you know what they said? They
Yeah.
said, "You're our devotional leader. You prepare the way for us to do what we do and bring the presence of the Lord in, and it blesses us." And that's just brought joy. Encouraged me to keep doing what I do. And what it encouraged me most of all is to be me. Be
Yes.
me who God has called me to be.
Oh,
It it
I
it
am
works.
I am so inspired. I'm getting chills. I mean, thinking about this full circle moment. And when they
Mm.
talk about delayed, not denied, that's beyond
Yeah.
that. That was already ordained.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so, you've done Ladies of the 80s. You've had this amazing career where you're hearing people who, are your peers saying
Yes.
they look up to you.
Mhm.
What is your advice for this generation and the next generation of artists who say, I want to be just like Beverly Crawford? What
Mhm.
is your advice? Especially because you just said the best thing I could have done was be me.
Yes. And that's what I encourage them to be. I've tried to be like other people. And it's okay, as they would say, like my father, he was an evangelist, he was a pastor, he was a bishop. And everybody see me and they said, "Oh man, you remind me of your father." And it should be some resemblance of you, because you were under their tutelage. You were raised under them. You're their kids, you're from their DNA. So it should be something that uh, should remind you of them, and say, "Oh man, that's their father, that's
Right.
their mother." Some people tell me all the time, "Oh man, you remind me of Patti LaBelle. You remind me of Tina Turner. You remind me of Tremaine Hawkins, or Shirley Caesar." And they tell me that all the time. You have those characters. What you want to be like them? I say, yes, I did. But one thing I found out, I admire them. And it's okay to let some of what you have, some person that you admire, to rub off on you, and people see that. But don't let that overtake you, that you feel like, I gotta be like that person to make it. No, you be who God has called you to be. And like my mom said, your gift will make room for you. And stay humble. Stay humble no matter where you go, no matter what doors God opens for you. Stay humble, and then stay out there and be under that training. Go to the workshops, go where they're doing the arts, and learn about it. Not only just learn, but become educated about the difference from having a entertainment lawyer or lawyer to a just a regular lawyer. You need an entertainment lawyer to deal with the music, to deal with those contracts. So you won't make those mistakes of signing your life away because you want to be in the industry, because you want to be there. Find out more about it, educate yourself, and then be involved. Continue to be involved in your church services. Have a covering. Don't run out here loose, that you don't
Mm.
have anybody to cover you. So when you get in trouble, you got a home to call on. "Hey, y'all come get me out of this. I done made a mistake, or I'm in trouble." Or build a relationship with people, that there are people that I've been going to for 30 years, for 20 years, for 10 years, to this day, with the album, without an album. And I can call on them anytime, because why? When I went to them, I didn't go there like a diva. I didn't go there like, "You can't touch me, I'm not approachable." But I went there humble, being a family, working with people, so that when those I don't have an album out, or it seemed like I'm not out there like everybody is out there, that those I have built a relationship not just an association, but I built a relationship with them that I could go to them to this day. And people still call me after all these years and want to have me. And that's what I tell this generation: be humble, stay in the way, learn more, have a covering. Don't run out here loose, because you need people that are going to be praying for you. You need to be covered. Man, I tell people all the time, even though it's gospel, it's still a business. You
Mm.
got to know where you are, and don't be afraid to learn about this, and watch God open up the door. As my mama said, your gift will make room for you, and it'll open up doors. You don't have to knock anybody down. You don't have to push anybody out the way. As Albertina Walker told me a long time ago, she said, Beverly, stay in the way. I was like, what do you mean by stay in the way? And what she meant was stay active, stay involved. And like, even though she would be at Dr. Bobby Jones at the explosion, she would stay at the conferences, at the GMWA, the Hawkins uh, arts and musical festivals. She would always be these places. And I was like, why is she there? That's what she meant about stay there. Be active, learn more, support each other. Even if you're not on the stage performing, even if you're not doing anything, stay there and learn and glean from people. And God will open up the doors, and He'll make a way. And and you don't have to change for anybody. Just be who God has called you to be, and He'll make a way out of no way.
Y'all, I wish I could teleport to Gainesville so I could go to church on Sunday. After that, oh my goodness, I am just so fired up and inspired by
Praise God.
you, Miss Crawford, as well as uh Todd Crawford, who made sure that we got that VHS years ago, and you and Pastor's amazing leadership of the church, but also all you have done for gospel
Praise God.
music. You have opened doors and paved paths for so many people, and so I thank you for your
Thank you.
dedication, for staying true to what the Lord called you to do and
Praise God.
continuing to do so. And so this Black Music Month, I just have to say thank you and give you your flowers.
Oh, bless you.
Please don't forget us, okay? At the
No, I would never. Thank you for this opportunity. I tell people, folks can invite you, but always remember to say thank you, because they didn't have to do it. Thank you so much. I'm honored.
Thank you. We are so incredibly grateful. And you all know, as I always say, sharing is caring. Share this stream if you don't do anything else today.
Yes.
Somebody needs to be blessed from all of this wonderful information that we're bringing to you on Win TV. And I know I'm fired up from this amazing interview with Beverly Crawford. Continue fighting the good fight
Thank
and
you.
doing all you do. And we are cheering you on 100%, Mrs. Crawford. Thank
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
you.